Welcome to the Draft Professor, everybody. My name's Jim. I am here with Jeremy. Jeremy, we've podcasted a few times before. Feels like it's about once every 4 months at this point. It's good to see you back on the
Quarterly.
channel. How are you?
It's quarterly. I am doing as well as I can for someone who had their Twitter account hacked, so that's cool. Other than that, I'm excited. At the worst time possible, draft season. So nothing like starting new. It's a new look. So if you've seen me on here before, it's a new handle. If you couldn't tell that much, but yeah, I'm doing. It's getting warmer in Buffalo, so that's always a plus. Bills are out there. Hiring Joe Brady and having a lot of fun with it. So,
Yeah, so it is ironic that Jeremy and I are both Bills fans. The Bills mock will be the one that we do at the end. We're just really going to talk about round one using the Draft Professor simulator. We're going to take it one team at a time, and we'll go ahead and bring the simulator up. So I was telling Jeremy a little bit backstage. I'll explain it for everybody here. The Draft Professor simulator is interactive. So we're going to start with the Rams and just kind of move through the draft order. And we're going to do these things called first round challenges. So a first round fanatic challenge is 5 unique 1-round drafts. So, Jeremy, if you were thinking of the Rams, what do you think they want to get out of the draft in round one in particular?
for me, I think the Rams are probably where they sit. I would think, in looking at like most of the board and everything like that, it's probably corner. Would be my guess. The defense was solid last year. If anything, they kind of that a little bit of Achilles heel would be the corner position. So I could see them going corner. That's kind of where I have them. I know that potentially they could go tackle. I know their tackles kind of came on as of late in the year. So I don't know if they stretch there. I feel like corner feels like that real area of need. Obviously, receiver, running back, all of those positions are locked up. You could say you want a successor for Matthew Stafford, but it feels a little early in this quarterback class to be going there because you're probably going to see Simpson and those guys gone. So I think that it's probably going to be cornerback. That would be my guess.
Yeah. And I'm kind of with you there. So round one right now on the simulator is Mendoza, Bain, Reese, Tate, Maui, Noah, Banks, Downs, Tyson, Styles, Bailey, Ione, Delane. I think the biggest surprise to me there was Caleb Banks going in the top 10.
Yes, a little while, but yeah.
Yeah.
I got him in this group of teams that we were going to talk about, but 5, that's pretty, he's going to be what?
Yeah.
Hey, that's the Browns for you. They took Mason Graham early, so maybe that's just
so I
overdrafting
think the
into
next
your
one we're
line.
going to do is the Browns, and we're going to see if we can fix that. Right? Because the simulator is interactive. It'll learn. So Delane went 1 pick before the Rams at 13.
I hate to see it.
And the question would be, do you think they go tackle here? Do you think this is a McCoy or a Terrell spot? What do you think?
I'd probably say I think they're going to go. I think they still say stay corner and draft more for that positional need. Trying to think, do they still have their second first round pick, right? I didn't even look.
Yeah, correct. So we're actually going to have a second pick as soon as we're done with this one.
Yeah, I think they will go corner still. I think that they'll probably go Terrell. Like McCoy, but coming off an ACL, it's always concerning.
Okay, so the simulator continues with the rest of the first round. The Rams have a second first round pick. So Woods, Falk, McCoy, Lomu, Love, Sadiq, Fano, Lemon, Pregnon, Proctor, Boston, Parker, Allen, Concepcion, Thieneman. Thoughts on what they do with this pick here? This, to me, might feel like a really good spot for Iheanacho or Freeling.
Yeah, I think they probably go offensive tackle here. I don't think they're going to double dip on corner unless who's left at quarterback. Was Ty Simpson still technically there?
Yep.
I could see him taking Simpson. I guess it depends if they really like someone later. If not, I mean, this seems like a pretty good spot for Ty Simpson. I almost feel like this is a luxury pick for them, and I could see them taking Simpson. Like Stafford's time's coming off. Simpson showed some pretty nice things at Alabama this past season. Still seems like he's a year or so away, so it makes a lot of sense for the Rams in that aspect. I also think with where you're at here with tackle, I think they run it back with the two that they had. You know, that kind of came on late, one already out of Georgia. So I think I'd take Ty Simpson here, truthfully.
Okay.
Just because you're looking at that succession for Matthew Stafford. And it's kind of like the luxury pick when you have the two inside there. You address corner early, take the quarterback late if he falls.
Okay. So Terrell and Simpson is who we took the first time. What the simulator does for the second mock is it snipes Terrell before the Rams pick. And this time Delane dropped. This is one of those ones where I think they sprint the card up.
Yeah, it's fine with me. I'll take Delane pretty easily. I think that interchangeable there at corner.
And then at the pick at 25, Ty Simpson gets sniped 4 picks before the Rams are on the clock. So if they take Delane, and now they're at the back half of round 1. Like the
I would take McDonald.
Might be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, even that interior line there with McDonald, I think that's a pretty good fall spot too. I think that's good value for him, a good run stopper.
So the thing that I pause with, the Rams,
I mean, they're loaded on the inside, but you can never have too many.
Do you think they would go with a project tackle, or do you think they would just
I mean, their tackles are pretty young. I mean, the one kid's like 24, isn't he? And then what is what's their right? That's their left tackle. Who's their right tackle? I think is pretty young too.
So you're saying they're offensive tackles?
Yeah, their tackles are ready. So
Eldrick really, I thought one of them was in his
Johnson's
40s.
No, Eldrick Johnson's 27. He came on. Well, Havenstein is technically their starter, I think, but he got hurt. He's at 33. But then this kid, Warren McLendon, graded out pretty well according to Pro Football Focus and looked pretty solid down the back half. So that's why I'm a little hesitant on them going. I know a lot of places are going to say they need to tackle, which I don't disagree necessarily, but it feels like when you're sitting here in the first round, you know, like you said, maybe they do go. But I feel like their
Lee Hunter's
linebackers are pretty solid.
Or McDonald.
But like, so for example, Poona Ford's their nose tackle. He's 30 years old. You know, like I think McDonald makes a lot of sense. Could be a succession to Poona Ford. You know, like in the middle there.
Yeah, that does. So do you like McDonald over Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go Caden McDonald. Okay, so it gives us the third mock. Terrell and Delane sniped before the Rams pick at 13.
Oh man, this thing's this is so complicated. Jeez, this thing doesn't like me. It's taking all my guys. I mean, I guess then I go Joe McCoy. I feel like they're locked in at corner here. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think they go tackle. Like, I mean, it makes sense. I guess these guys have fallen a little bit.
Yeah, and based upon the grades that I hear, this is where Lomu and Fano would be considered. But I actually
that's what I mean. Like
Sadiq or McCoy would be better picks for the Rams over the tackles. Like, if to your point, if I don't have the Rams depth chart in front of me, but if they're set at offensive tackle, they're going to look at another position. I mean, Peter Woods is also available right now.
They're not like set, like they're too young younger guys that aren't like they're not staples, but like they played well. So I just don't know. I guess it really in the building of how they feel. You know, like they grade out
Right.
decently according to Pro Football Focus, but like how does the building really feel about them? Would be my guess as if whether or not they attack tackle here. I don't think they reach on the interior lineman at this point. Maybe. Yeah, I think they take McCoy. I'm going to stick with tackle or corner. Then we'll have to go offensive line next time when it keeps taking our
Okay.
guys.
And then Simpson and McDonald get sniped.
I'll take McDonald. Works for me. Went to the Bills, so I'll take it. I would. I'd probably take CJ Allen. I think I'd go linebacker then. Not much left there. They don't need. I mean, I guess they could go wide receiver. Who wouldn't hate a third wide receiver? But
okay, so this one, Terrell Delane McCoy off the board for the Rams at 13.
It's just getting harder and harder and harder.
And
I'm going to get wild here.
Challenges.
I'm going to go wild, and I'm going to go completely off the board that nobody would ever think, and I'll just take Mackie Lemon here. Like, I mean, I was talking to myself a little bit into it there. A third wide receiver, imagine Lemon, Nakua, and Adams. If he falls that far.
And
realistically, I mean, if they really feel like they're set at tackle, like, and I feel like here there should be a corner.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard for me to read that screen right now. Like Colton Hood.
Yes,
he's
that's
corner,
Hood,
right?
Johnson, and Abney. And then, do you think Anthony Hill Jr. is in Well, no, but they haven't taken.
I think they take corner if they went luxury. Say with Lemon at the top half. Yeah, I'd take Hood. See, and that might be their play. They may take tackle early. Like, I mean, right here, right now, we haven't taken one yet, and obviously now they're gonna snipe all our other ones. Like, maybe this is the point where you take.
Well, if Caleb personally drop to the Rams, are they sprinting that pickup?
Yeah, probably. I would probably say yeah.
I would think so.
Better than the rest of their safeties.
And then at pick 29, if Simpson, McDonald, Allen, and Hood have been sniped from the Rams and they haven't taken a corner, is this Chris Johnson at the end of round 1?
I kind of like Caden Proctor, to be honest. Again, though, it comes down if they like the corners or the tackles or not. We'll go with Johnson, actually. We'll go corner. We'll say they take 2 defensive backfield.
That's look at that. It looks nothing like my high school report card because this all has A's.
I don't like that. That's a tough challenge. I get why it's called a challenge now.
Yeah. Well, and you didn't know what you were walking into when I invited you onto the podcast. So, thanks for playing, right? So let's go do the Browns and see if we can get Caleb Banks off the top spot there. So we're going to do the Browns. It's going to be something relatively similar. So ultimately, when you see a player here, all you have to do is pick a player that's under them. So even if a good player drops, I'm still probably taking the players that are under them. So if you were the Browns and it went Mendoza, Bain, Reese, Tate, Maui, Noah.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah,
I
man,
think this is Jordan Tyson.
This is. I was going to say this, but it feels like the Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow picture meme all over. But yeah,
I see. So you're saying basically, is it? Do you take the wide receiver or do you take the tackle?
Yeah, but I'll take Tyson. I think their problem's a little bit more on the inside of the offensive line.
Yep.
They have 2 picks
And
too.
then if they took Tyson, there's 2 tackles sitting right here for the Browns. Because they would need, to me, they would need to go offensive line here.
Let's keep it Arizona State.
Oh, there
Let's
we
go
go.
with.
I like it.
We'll double it up on Arizona State.
Okay, so and I'm keeping my eye on that 5 right there. So by picking a player that's under, once I see that 5 is a number that's higher, I know that we've moved a player up high enough. So do you think they would go Fano or Reese at 6 if Tyson was off the board?
We might take Styles.
Okay, we'll do Styles. I love it. And then
Ty Simpson. Concepcion. At least kind of Jerry Judy-ish, but
okay.
Whatever.
So now at pick 6, this one gets to be a little bit fun. So Mendoza and Maui Noah are there. But again, for the spirit of the exercise, my goal is to get Caleb Banks off of the 5th spot.
And Mendoza's not going to be there, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I would take...
I might even say this is Caleb Downs.
Yeah. I think they addressed the offensive line in some way, shape, or form. I'll go with Fano just for that exercise of getting Banks down.
Yep. Okay, so we'll go Fano and then Lemon.
Look at Banks is all the way left down here now. Can we take him now? Would that help your
No, I want to pick players that are
on. Yeah, if Mackie Lemon's still here at 24, that's a run to the podium situation for the Browns.
He's still at 5. Okay, so we've got 2 more to go. So if Tyson's off the board, Styles is off the board, and Fano's off the board, Reese or Downs?
Downs.
Okay, and then
I
was looking to see where Caleb Banks.
Manuel Pregon. Or wait, no, that's in.
Yep, that was Pregon. And then his number still doesn't change. So if Tyson,
who put Caleb Banks all the way up there?
Well, and somebody picked him often enough that he moved up. So I was trying to see if I could get him off. Styles, Tyson, Fano, Downs, all sniped before the Browns. Do you think if Arvell Reese dropped to 6?
Yeah. I think they go some type of defensive backfield or linebacker early, unless they really like one of the receivers, but it feels a little... I also feel like they kind of like Shedeur Sanders a bit, so...
I don't think they're going quarterback. I think you run it back with Shedeur, and the Browns have ample draft capital to get a quarterback next.
Yeah. Who's left at wide receiver? Anybody or no?
So like Lemon, Concepcion.
Actually, I'll take. That's early. Okay, go back to all. I was gonna say Brazel's interesting for their fit of what they need, but seems a bit too early.
And I think they need corner help, and Terrell is here at 24.
Yeah, they could use it. I'd take Terrell.
Okay,
I don't think he's going to be there.
I don't think we moved Caleb Banks there. But we will just move on with the exercise and go to the team after the Rams. We tried, but it didn't.
It was our best bet,
Yeah. Okay, so we did the Rams. Okay, so the Ravens in round 1.
Yeah, we'll just keep it in that AFC North.
Yep. Do I need to make like my screen bigger so it's easier for you to read?
No, I can see now. I'd make mine bigger.
Okay. So
I usually keep like the when I do these, like the StreamYard one small. I don't usually like watch myself. So
got it.
so I had it
You
small, but I
get it-
couldn't read it.
Ty Simpson went to the Rams.
Yep.
Caleb Banks is still going there. Okay, so what do you
I really
think
like them.
the Ravens would be doing?
So I do have Mackie Lemon in this spot. Was one of my choices here. He's kind of a slot guy, a little bit of what Zay Flowers already does, but they really do need a wide receiver. It looks like, is Denzel Boston still there? Feels really early for Boston, in my personal opinion. They may go that route. He's more of a perimeter X receiver. They could also go, who's left at edge?
Falk?
Yeah, let's go Falk. I think they go edge in this situation. I think they'll look at Lemon, but like I said, he's very similar already to what Zay Flowers gives them. So like he's better than Zay Flowers ultimately, but like a similar skill set in a way.
Yep.
So I could see them passing there.
Okay. So in the second mock, Falk is taken before pick 14. Peter Woods dropped this time. And I believe Maudabike isn't going to be ready week 1, from what somebody told me. Because I believe he got hurt. So do you think they would go Woods, or do you think that this could be like, would you take Pregnon at 14 or McCoy?
I don't think they go corner. They may. They're kind of a little weak at corner. They could. I think they go Woods. There's not much, at least on their depth chart at this moment, on the interior line there. So I think they could go there.
Okay, so then in the third one, Falk and Woods are sniped before the Ravens pick at 14. What do you think they would do?
We'll go Lemon. Again, there's a lot to like about Lemon, even though he's kind of similar to what Zay Flowers gives you. I think that he's a little bit more of a vertical threat than Flowers. So I'm fine with going there.
And we've had similar conversations on some Bills podcasts that we've done. Like if Casey Concepcion is there, would Buffalo take him because he's duplicate to Shakir? He just does what Shakir is better.
Yeah,
right. It's a similar conversation.
I like Concepcion. I don't think so. I don't know. The more that I hear them talk, I'm afraid they're not going to take a wide receiver. But anyways, different day, different time. Let's go.
Lemon, and then Vega dropped, Fano dropped, Lomu dropped. And I mean, they need offensive line help.
Yeah, I'll go with Fano. Little lighter build, but more of a pass set kind of guy. But I think that's where I'm going to go. They definitely need tackles. Like Ronnie Staley's ancient. I don't even remember how old Roger Rosengard is. He's younger, but
yeah, he might still be in
Ronnie Staley's ancient.
I think Rosengarten's still in his rookie.
Yeah. But I think Fano's the one who played. No, Fano played right tackle. Oh well, whatever. Okay, so what we got now?
So Falk, Woods, Lemon, Fano sniped before the Ravens pick. Do you think this is Jordan Tyson?
Ooh, yeah, 100%. Jordan Tyson falls that far, 100%. Oh, how'd we do? A B+ on Keldrick Falk? Rude. Rude. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
and I'm responding to the comment in the chat there. So
Oh, I didn't
the
even see what.
grading on the simulator is based upon group think. So the A plus means we picked the player that was at the top of the draft card.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get a D, it means you're probably the first one to pick a player to that team in that round.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Right.
So the D's are actually just people who are just early, just early.
Yeah. Yeah. Not wrong.
Not wrong, just early.
Yeah. I like the way you think. Okay. So the next team in the draft order is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So a lot of draft professors have said that this should be an edge, but they also need a tight end.
They do need a tight end.
So if you notice, Woods went to the Ravens.
It's because we're trendsetters.
Yeah.
I will take TJ. I'll take Falk. I will go edge there. They need edge for sure, 100%.
Oh, you see now.
They need like everything.
JT, who is a Buccaneers podcaster, Buccaneers draft professor, is mocking us in the chat. Okay, so if Falk is off the board before the Buccaneers pick,
TJ Parker. I'm pretty sad on those two. Either one would make me, as a Buccaneers fan, happy.
Oh, you see, and here I saw the Buffalo Bills logo behind you. I thought do you go Bills and Bucks or?
Oh, no, I'm just saying if I was a Buccaneers fan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That would make me happy.
I misunderstood what you said.
I do like the Bucks old school uniforms. I'm a fan of all, mainly the Bills, though. The Bills make me cry. So that's a true fan, right?
Yeah. So Falk and Parker are off the board before the Buccaneers pick at 15.
So here's my trouble. I think they need a tight end. I just don't think Kenyon Sadiq's on their board. Because he's not, their tight ends aren't in the passing game. And that's like one of the main reasons you would draft Kenyon Sadiq. I guess if Mike Evans leaves, maybe they feel like they need to replace a passing attack option, but you've already got Godwin. You've already got Ibuka. You've got Jalen McMillan. Like, I don't think they really look for a passing tight end in this situation. I think when they're going to go, I think they'll hold off. They'll be looking a little bit later to a little bit more of like a more dual threat kind of tight end. I just don't think Sadiq would be in their radar a ton. He maybe. I can't say no for sure, but I would probably say who's the corner that's right at the bottom of the screen. I can't see.
McCoy.
I'll take Terrell. I think they play his brother enough, that maybe they'll hope that works out, because I think they could use corner help as well.
Okay, and then if Falk, Parker, and Terrell are off the board, Woods is available. CJ Allen is available. As is Cassius Howell.
Oh, Howell's there. I'll take Howell.
So Howell over Woods?
Yeah, I mean, Vita Vea is older. Sure. Woods is a little bit, could probably play a little outside, but yeah.
Okay, we got a gift on this one.
So I got David Bailey.
Parker, Terrell, and Howell splitting the pickup for David Bailey.
Yeah. I think Tampa Bay would just, would quit. Why? You guys don't want cornerbacks? They need corners.
You can my new
wow. The board even agrees. They don't like me taking a corner. I'm just saying, the corners are not good.
Whatever. One of my new philosophies is stop reaching for corners in round 1 and just draft a day 2 corner, or
Yeah,
draft a day 2 defensive back every year.
Yeah, the corners get really good, in my opinion, like value wise in the second round this year. Like the
Yes.
early second round corners are really good. So I agree where you're kind of like it does feel like a stretch on some of these guys in these early teen rounds at corner, like you said. You could easily load up on. You never have enough defensive linemen, so you could load up there even at that. Like where that one where I took the corner instead of Woods, like. You could take Woods. Yeah, Vita Vea is kind of your go-to tackle in the middle there right now, but like he is 30 and like Woods could be a good change of pace guy and then just end up taking over if he pans out, So I see it. I could make sense.
Okay. So let's do the Lions. So to me, this is like if there was a center here who had a first round grade, he's going to Detroit. But I don't think
hope you don't need a center.
Yeah, I don't think there's any centers graded that high once Lulu went back to school.
Oh, we skipped the Jets. You don't like the Jets?
Well, because the Jets were picking earlier, right? Because they technically were picking at 2. So the next one in the list was the Lion.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but we can go back. We can do the Jets.
Oh, you good. You good. I don't need to do the Jets. It's all right. No one likes the Jets.
Okay. JK. The Lions, what do you think they would do?
I mean, it's probably hard to avoid TJ Parker here. I would probably say that. Just because they drafted corners already doesn't mean they're good. Okay, I get it, though.
So if Parker is sniped, Falk is not available, what do you think the Lions do?
I kind of like Caden Proctor a bit here. I don't think they have a huge need at tackle, but I also think Caden Proctor's a little bit away. Personally, I think he could still use a little bit of development and could ultimately replace Taylor Decker.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that could be a play there. I doesn't really help them now, which they kind of need help at.
You know what I love? So like JT, so they drafted a pair of day 2 corners last year. So wouldn't it be really funny if the Bucs did draft a corner in round 1? Like,
oh yeah, that
I'm always fascinated when somebody says they won't do that.
That's part
and then like 10% of the time it actually happens. So like JT, I believe you're correct, and I've heard JT. I think JT and I have done a couple of these before, and he explained similar logic. Is that it's going to be this position that I believe it's edge, linebacker. I think they could use safety, but there's not a safety in that range. But like I have a lot of conversations. I'm not sure if that was what the conversation I had with JT.
Yeah, I mean, I think edge, linebacker, interior offensive lineman for Tampa Bay is probably their top 3. I think tight end they likely go, like we said. I just don't think that with how their tight ends are deployed in the passing game, I don't think they feel a pressing need to get like Sadiq or any of these super high ones. So I think they probably wait. Like the tight end class is pretty deep as far as like adequate pass catchers and blockers, which is more of what they want. So yeah, I think edge, linebacker, like you said, guard, if like one of the guards was like kind of there for them, that they could reach on, but I don't know if they will. I think with how the class shapes up, I think in where they are at, edge probably makes the most sense, truthfully, when it comes to it, if I had to bet on draft day. But anyways, Lions.
Back to the Lions. So Parker and Proctor are off the board before pick 17.
Which
what do we think the
doesn't
Lions
kill me? Yeah, who do they even have in the middle right now? I would say, whoa, Jeremiah Love, that would ruin everybody's life. How is Jeremiah Love still on the board here? Jeez Louise.
Well, if people don't pick him, they drop. Right? This is all user behavior.
Well, I guess this makes sense because I would probably say he's going to the Vikings next. So I guess it makes sense. We're not as far down the draft board as I thought. I'll go Leone.
Do you think it would be like Zion Young?
No, I'll go Leone. I'll go inside guard. I think they could use help in the guards position. I'll go there.
Okay. So Parker, Proctor, Ione off the board.
Dang it. Just keep ruining my days here. I'll go Caden McDonald. Nice run stopper in the middle.
Okay. And then Parker, Proctor, Ione McDonald off the board. Delane dropped. Bulk dropped.
Delane. They need corners.
Okay. No A plus.
Oh, yeah. That's all right, though. I'll take it. I'll take A's. Sign me up. Lions. Know where I'm at. Getting them A's.
Okay. So after the Lions, we will do the Vikings. So to me, the Vikings probably need defense or Jeremiah Love.
I mean, if Jeremiah Love's there, we'll just take him. Let's just get it right out of the way.
So yes, you can see Love sitting at the top of the board. He's there for a reason because people have picked him before. So is that your pick?
Yeah, that makes the most sense. I think they need to help McCarthy if that's their plan.
Okay, so if Love is sniped before the Vikings are on the clock, see, to me, this would be defense. So it's either like McCoy, Terrell, McDonald, Parker.
I would say Terrell.
Getting them DB help.
Okay. What, are you kidding me? They got such good defensive backs.
Love, Terrell sniped before the Vikings pick.
Mm-hmm. I know TJ Parker seems interesting to me.
How are they at linebacker?
Cashman, Wilson, Ben Ginkle. They're probably all right. Not the best, but.
So what are your thoughts here?
I'll actually go with TJ Parker. I think he could be a good replacement for Jonathan Allen at some point. Oh, why did I do that?
Okay, so that's
my things out.
Love, Terrell, Parker off the board before the Vikings pick. What do you think they would do? Is this vegan?
Interior O-line.
Lemons here.
What?
See, and this is where it gets interesting, right? Because they have Jefferson, but
when they trade Jefferson to the Bills,
1 year left on his deal, right?
I'll say they go Leon, interior offensive line.
Okay, and then Love, Terrell, Parker, Ione off the board before pick 18.
Makes sense, probably.
Falk is here. Tyson's here. Like, again, look, like Jordan Tyson is dropping to pick 18.
Yeah, I'd probably take Tyson. Man, that's tough. And no, it's fine. You can take him. Yeah. It's just they just don't need a wide receiver. I mean, but again, this feels like it would be. That's almost like when Dallas was on the clock and took CeeDee Lamb. Like when certain receivers fall, like even though you have receivers, like it doesn't hurt to have three really good players, you know, and like then they could move on from Jordan Addison if they wanted, you know. or trade Justin Jefferson to the Bills. But either way, however they want to go about it.
So it's interesting because we're doing the Panthers here at 19 now. And I've done podcasts like this with a Panthers person, and they were, for the most part, focused on like front seven on defense. But if you remember, like when the Bills played the Panthers, they could not block us, and Buffalo's pass rush really isn't that good. Right? Like I said, like this, if there's an offensive lineman here, that should be the pick. Like if it's me and I'm building the team and I saw what Buffalo did to that offensive line, you fix it. But that wasn't what the Panthers people were telling me that they would do. But they're not on this podcast. You are. So the Panthers at 19, what do you think they would do?
I think they'd take TJ Parker. I could see an edge, kind of an edge ish player. I think they could use a little bit of help there as well. I don't disagree. I think they could use offensive line. I just don't know if there's really much here. I think like by our fourth or fifth one, I think we'll have someone fall. But who is left at offensive line? See, like here, I think they take Lemon.
Okay.
I know that there was some investment there with them saying that they like Coker, but like if you have a chance to get Mackie Lemon to pair with McMillan, like how do you pass that up? Do you know what I mean? Like
well, yeah, you see, and you look like Matt Miller.
And now like
Jeremiah
Love, you know,
wide receiver in round one.
Yeah, Carolina, bro.
Okay, so Parker and Lemon off the board. So Jeremiah Love, if he falls to the Panthers, do you think they take it?
See, here's where I would think they might take Fano. Maybe they take Love, but I think they like Hubbard. I think they like Rico Dowdle's technically a free agent, so like maybe they take Love. But I feel like Love's like a little bit of a luxury-ish pick. Like I don't know if Carolina really makes that play. Like, but again, maybe they do. They're a playoff team. Like Bryce Young is not the most prolific passer. Kind of live on the ground game. Yeah, I'll take Love. I talked myself into it.
Well, you see, and I love having that conversation, right? We should be asking ourselves, and that part of doing a first round challenge is if the player's there, like we took Lemon, if he's there, they should probably take him. If Love is there, they should probably take him. Okay, so in this one, Parker, Lemon, Love, snipe before the Panthers pick at 19.
I'll take Folk. I think they could use a pass rusher. So
no,
I think if any of those edge guys get down there, you know, I think that's fine. And then again, we talked about it just a minute ago, like interior offensive line. So now you got Ione there. Maybe, but I'd honestly probably take Howell over Ione. Like Howell fell as well. Again, staying at the edge.
Okay. You want Howell?
I think, yeah. I think I'd stay at the edge.
Cool. Okay, so where are we? Okay, this will be the second to last one, and then we'll do the Bills last.
Oh gosh, the Bills, all so wide receivers. Pressure. Just take them all. Just get all the wide receivers.
To me, the Steelers, like, I so want to give them a quarterback, but I don't know that there's a quarterback worth giving them.
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Yep.
That's who they're gonna. They're gonna do that. They're gonna bring him back.
Gotta make sure I hit that first round challenge button. Okay, so Steelers. I think, like, my opinion would be defensive back, wide receiver, offensive line.
I'd take Concepcion. Here. Why do they need wide receivers? 100%. And I feel like Boston's too much DK Metcalf for me.
Okay.
Ooh, Mackie Lemon.
So if Lemon drops to Pittsburgh, is that as far as he drops?
100%. Yeah, I would take Lemon if I was them. Doesn't mean they will, but I would.
Okay, so Concepcion, Lemon off the board for Pittsburgh.
Terrell.
We're gonna get some A pluses in this one. If you pick the top player,
No, I was gonna start doing that then. Now I know. Now I know the hacks. I want those A pluses, baby.
do you think they would take McCoy? They need a corner. You think they would take CJ Allen? Is one of their linebackers a free agent?
I think they'd take a shot at McCoy. They seem like a team that, as long as like the medical's kind of cleared leading into it, I feel like they'd be less concerned about not playing that final year.
Okay.
Of anybody.
If Jeremiah Love fell to Pittsburgh, would they take him?
Yes.
Even with Caleb
Jackson? I mean, come on. Caleb Johnson. That's a name from the past. I didn't even know he was still alive. Yes, and I'm going to... Well, what is... How long is Warren under contract? Kenneth Gainwell's a free agent, so like I think he's probably gone. Okay, so they still have Jalen Warren. Maybe not. I feel like with McCarthy, they're going to want a pass-catching running back, which Warren can do. But Jeremiah Love gives you a little bit of what early Aaron Jones was. So, like, a bit better, obviously, than Aaron Jones. But I think I'd go... Probably Fano. I think that maybe they'd address the offensive line.
Yeah. Because my understanding is Broderick Thomas just isn't working out.
So yeah, their offensive line is just not good.
Yeah. Okay. So we will do the Buffalo Bills last. So both Jeremy and I are Bills fans. I have my own opinions, but I will put Jeremy in control. So
feel free to step in. Honestly, I just give
well, and I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm just saying I'm going to put you in control. I will be.
They're going to probably take Ty Simpson or some crazy.
Yeah, I'll be Jeremy White on WGR and comment for every player that's not a wide receiver.
See, and this is where people are going to hate me. Like, I would gladly take TJ Parker. Not gonna lie, I would. Like, I mean, the pass rush is atrocious. You just hit it before that. Like, it's not good. And I personally don't want to pay Bosa to bring him back. Like, why not bring in a younger pass rusher that's got a physical presence, kind of moves well? Like, I think that makes sense to me. Nobody's going to want to hear it. I know everybody wants a wide receiver, but...
Okay.
And as ugly as it is, it would be... See, and then here... See, I would take... Did I just see that Terrell's still here?
He is.
Could be intriguing. I feel like they need a corner.
It would be to replace Taron Johnson in the slot, right?
To an extent, if they get rid of him. I don't know if they will, but one could hope. Howell could be interesting. I like Surratt here. I also like McDonald. I think they could obviously use that. The question, I guess, is going to be that conversion to the 3-4 now.
Yeah.
Likely coming. I think McDonald could be a nice centerpiece.
I would agree.
Truthfully. Then you could have Oliver. And then probably Deion Walker. Well, Walker's probably going to be your center. Yes, I think they might pass on that. I mean, Walker could play, like, I guess, one of the air quote edge rushers.
You like
linebacker
either Trotter or Hill here?
Feels a little early for me.
Okay. Bernard.
I've been taking corners when I've done mine.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. Who did I just take? I literally just did one. I feel like I can't even remember that off the top of my head. Where is
Would you take Thieneman?
No. I think they're gonna ride with it with Cole Bishop kind of being like the anchor back there and just plug somebody in alongside him. Where was it? I took somebody and I can't remember off the top of my head. I just did one yesterday. Please hold. Oh, I took Concepcion.
There's a draft professor that called him Khalil Shakir on crack.
I mean, he is basically Khalil Shakir, just a little better.
He's better downfield. He's a better route runner. But the way that he's used,
Khalil Shakir can get downfield too. Joe Brady just hates letting him do it. I'll take the edge rusher again. I'll go with Howell out of A&M.
Okay.
See, it's because so for example, in the one I did, I went Concepcion, then I went Trotter in round 2. I don't know if he's going to be there at 60, but he was at PFF. You know what I mean? So I feel like linebacker needs to be addressed in one of the first 3 picks. I just don't think round 1 makes sense. I think the linebackers are a reach at this point.
Okay.
I think they're in a tough spot because I don't like the wide receivers. I don't like Denzel Boston. I'm out. CJ Allen, meh. I mean, if Ione's here, I would probably take him. You've got 2 guys in the center of the line that are probably not going to be back.
Yep.
And if
we have 4 free agents
they're
on
iffy.
the offensive line. So yeah,
and everything that this team's done with Brandon Beane, it makes sense that that's where they're going to probably go. So if he fell, that would make sense to me.
So if Parker, Howell, and Ione are not available,
see if I'm really going wide receiver here, I feel like it's either Surratt or they may go with Brazzell. It's early, it's a reach a bit, but I could see them going that route, a speedster that can get downfield. Surratt feels like too Keenan Allen, too much Khalil Shakir. Concepcion maybe in play, but again, feels a little limited as far as what they're going to probably try to deploy. But from the way they talked, it also sounds like they still, for some reason, believe a ton in Keon Coleman. So maybe they could use Concepcion as I don't know.
So we have a Bills podcast.
I don't like any of these guys.
A Bills draft podcast we do every Tuesday. And one of the things that Jerry Ostrowski was pointing out on it is he said, any receiver that we add needs to attack the defense at all 3 levels. If you can't get vertical, that's not the first round wide receiver we should draft. If that first round wide receiver is just a really good route runner, but they can't get vertical, then we're not using that draft pick right unless we've dealt with that deep threat in free agency. But
the only real deep threat, but the problem is that you're not going to get the 3 levels out of Denzel Boston. You'll get that vertical threat in the intermediate type of territory. He's like a Mike Evans light in that aspect of that's kind of going to be his role. Concepcion, I think, could get to the deeper portions, but doesn't have the size. Surratt's not a deep guy, and that's where I think Brazzell would be intriguing to them. But if they traded back, I could see that. I don't know if they reach on him here because that's really what they need is that guy, like you said, is someone who can really get downfield. But they were doing it well with Brandon Cooks, which is similar size to Concepcion. So I could see Concepcion being a guy that's kind of on their radar. Who else is below this again? Scroll down a little bit more. I mean, I could see them taking the safety and Thieneman potentially. See, because he's more of a traditional deep safety, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He would deep safety allows Bishop to go into the box and play downhill, which is what Bishop does well.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see him going there.
Okay.
I just personally am not a fan of those receivers. They may take them. I just personally don't like the ones that are kind of there when we get up on the board.
Parker, Howell, Ione, Thieneman, all snipe before the Bills pick. Would you take Pregnon this high?
See, I mean, I guess Trotter's a lot higher in your setup here. I would consider Trotter here.
So the players are high because people have picked them.
Yeah, I know.
User right. Everything here is user behavior.
Well, exactly, but that's a little nicer sometimes than, like you said, that linear board.
Yes.
Because you're getting guys that are going through it and addressing it. See, like I have them taking, like I said, there's a safety out of Penn State. It's Zanke in the third round. He tends to fall in the third round, at least on PFF's mock draft. So I feel like taking a safety early just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I think wide receiver does, but I don't like
class to take one early.
But I don't like Surratt. I don't like Bernard for the Bills. So I mean, honestly, I would probably look at like one of these defensive linemen. Not that they necessarily need a ton of inside guys. Or I mean, maybe I guess you could go linebacker, really, because right now you're going to be asking like Russo probably to pay linebacker.
Yeah.
So I could see them entertaining like a CJ Allen or Anthony Hill or Trotter. I could see that because Milano's iffy, Bernard's iffy, Shaq Thompson's up there in age. Like, I could see them bringing somebody in. We'll go with CJ Allen. Why not? We'll take the top guy.
Okay. So we got 2 A pluses.
Yeah, and notice I didn't take a single offensive player. God.
No, I took the guy on it.
No, doesn't really count. That's a trench guy. The trenches.
So Jeremy, first of all, like that was really cool to hear you talk through all that. So we've done one of these on a podcast before. This is like one of the first times that we've done a podcast at Draft Professor where we just like went through the draft order and we did several teams. But hearing your opinion of like, would that team take Jeremiah Love? Right? Like,
yeah.
I designed the simulator so that we could have podcast content like that. Because I think it's great to talk about the draft the way that you just did.
And I too many people, I think, get a little caught up in best player available sometimes. I think you have to look a lot of times, and I talk about this a lot, at least throughout it, whether it's fantasy stuff or it's just draft content in general, of like how they fit into the schemes. Like we talked about, like the Bills at the wide receiver position right now. Like, and even at that, with the Keon Coleman, everybody likes to say they should have taken Ladd McConkey. They should have done this. They should have taken Ladd McConkey instead of Keon Coleman. Like, but for the direction the Bills receiver room was going, Ladd McConkey didn't make sense. Like, they have Ladd McConkey and Khalil Shakir. Like, Ladd McConkey is probably arguably better than Khalil Shakir. Sure, 100% get it. But the reason that they went with Coleman is they wanted the X receiver. That's where it was. That was their highest X receiver that they had. That's the direction they went. It's the same thing. Like, I remember when Bijan was coming out, like, as soon as the draft order was set, I'm like, the Falcons are taking him at 8. Like, it just makes sense. Like, Arthur Smith's going there. Like, it makes too much sense. And so many people were like, no, they're not taking him. Same thing with Joe Alt in Los Angeles. I was like, the Chargers are going to take him. They need tackles. They need guys. They'll move somebody around. They're like, no, they already have Slater, whoever's on the other side where Alt technically played in college. And I'm like, they're going to move someone around. Like this is what they need. Like, this is where it goes. And I think some people get too entrenched with like that, like this guy only played left tackle or this guy only played right tackle, and that's all they can play. Like, and I think some of that stuff's interchangeable. Brandon, I agree. If Love goes to the Chiefs, I'll cry. Um, he will drop to the Chiefs. The question is, would they take him? That'll be the biggest play. But
so interesting, Brandon, on that. So Price Carter, who is a draft professor, who's a Chiefs fan, you can follow him at Arrowhead Addict. One of the things he was pointing out is he says Andy Reid doesn't use his running back.
mm-hmm.
Right? Just look at Andy Reid's history, right? When he was at Philadelphia, they passed 70% of the time. The likelihood they would use the best draft pick they've had in a decade on a running back, just to Price, he says that doesn't feel right. Between the fact that, Sonny Styles should be there, Caleb Downs should be there, Jordan Tyson could be there.
I think receiver is likely their route.
Yeah.
I think and I think offense is their route. I don't think they go defense. I think receiver probably makes the most sense, much like the Bills. Like, they're kind of in that receiver purgatory of not really being able to fill the void. Rashee Rice is, always in trouble at this point. Potentially losing Travis Kelce. Maybe they entertain Sadiq. I doubt it. But like you said, if Jordan Tyson's there, or like a Denzel Boston, somebody that's a true perimeter receiver, I could see them going there. But I could also see him taking Jeremiah Love, because he is really good in the receiving game. Like at one point, if I remember, like, Andy Reid was there with LaShawn McCoy, I believe, right? Like, I'm not imagining that. Like, I could see
at the very beginning, because LaShawn McCoy was traded by that former Oregon head coach.
Oh yeah, by Chip Kelly. You're right.
That was Chip. Okay, Chip Kelly was the coach that traded him, but Chip Kelly wasn't the coach that drafted him.
Yeah, I think it was Reid.
I think you're right, because I think Chip Kelly replaced Reid, so I think you are accurate there.
Yeah, so I mean, Brian Westbrook, I think he was during Reid's time too, right?
Yep.
It's like the pass catching running backs, which Love can do, I think would be intriguing to Andy Reid a little bit, especially considering Pacheco's a free agent. Like, they don't really have anybody behind him right now, Also, what Brandon says here with Mahomes potentially missing some time and Kelce leaving, like, makes sense. So I can see it.
So one of the other things that I like to talk about is, let's say, the utility or the number of snaps that your first round pick plays. So one of the reasons that offensive linemen are such popular first round picks is they play 100% of the snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when you hit on a quarterback, you have that position tied down for, let's say, 15 years. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You hit on the quarterback. So now you're focused on 21 other positions that you have to fill. If you hit on an offensive tackle, that pick will probably last you 12 years. So now you only have 20 players to draft. And if you hit on your other tackle, now you're down to 19 players. So the problem with taking a safety or a linebacker or a running back really high is you're only going to get 7 years out of the running back and the linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So your utility, first, Love will not be on the field for every snap. So and again, to your point about Bijan, the Falcons, their running game is pretty much Bijan, but I know they have Algier, but to me, from a team building standpoint, you're better off drafting a player who you think that you're going to be able to use for 8 to 10 years. That's your hope. If you hit, you don't want to have to draft that position again. That's more likely to happen at wide receiver, defensive line, offensive line.
Honestly, also, I mean, I 100% agree. I think that, again, I could be making this up, but I'm pretty sure I saw something that came out discussing a similarity to that's a lot of the way the NFL front offices look at running backs as well, on the basis of, like, it's such a short window that they're productive, or they're even on that first contract, that, like, they're more of a luxury pick when you're closer to competing. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, when you have Bijan, like, Bijan's a different tier. He's like that Saquon tier, the CMC tiers. Like those guys are kind of like you kind of take them because they are just so good. They could literally make your team good. But when you're talking about these guys, and Love is good, but I don't think he's there. You know what I mean? Like he's one of the better ones that have come out in a while, but he's not going to take this team. And the Chiefs, obviously, it was an injury issue and kind of just a falling off of a season. But like, yeah, I'd love to the Chiefs. Like they're again probably still really good. So it's like the Chiefs could make sense in that aspect, but like adding say Love to like Cleveland, like that doesn't make sense. Like it's a crapshoot in there, you know. So I agree with you. It makes a lot of sense. And that's honestly that you see that trend 100% of the time in most drafts. Like that's why you see all these offensive linemen go in the first 10 picks or 15 picks. It's a lot of offensive line into your defensive line guys and the positions that the trenches really win the games. You know what I mean? We see it regularly. And so it makes sense. The Chiefs, I'm really interested to see where they go because I think they're going to have a lot of options there and they do have a lot of needs. Like, I mean, they're not the Bills. I mean, every team, like the Bills, you know, when you start paying a quarterback 30, 40, 50 million, like it gets hard to have like a complete team. So I think that they'll have a little bit of that luxury. And, you know, like Brandon said here, see what Gibbs did for the Lions. Like, but again, like look what the Lions were this year. You know,
well, right. So,
Gibbs was great, but the Lions missed the playoffs. So, you know, that's the thing.
And I want to. So, like, if you think of the Lions in round one, they took Gibbs and Campbell. So they spent really premium assets. And those were assets that they got from the Matthew Stafford trade, right? Look at, like, what they yielded, right? The Jameson Williams pick, I think, came from that trade. And then the Jack Campbell pick, I believe, came from that trade, right? But the issue is you could see, like, what we're at Gibbs. He just finished his third season, right?
Second.
It's greater than 2. I think it's third, but maybe it's his fourth. Because who did Buffalo take in that first round? That was the Kincaid draft.
Yes, third. It was finished as third, yeah.
Yep. So anyway, so you look at that, and Gibbs has 2 really good years, 3 really good years. He's had every single year he's been in the league, he's been really good. But you missed on making sure that you have, let's say, a premium defensive tackle or edge or offensive tackle. Now, I realize Detroit did have 2 good offensive tackles, and they're probably going to have to replace one of them in this draft. But you need to be really careful when you're not using your premium picks on positions that you're going to be able to build your team around. Because when you're picking high, like Kansas City is specifically, do we think Kansas City is picking in the top 20 next year? I don't.
Probably not. I guess it depends on Mahomes' rehab, but like probably not.
They have all season to correct quarterback, meaning that, you know, they could bring in a Mitch Trubisky or whoever to, you know, start the first 4 games if that's what they need. But they have all off season to get that quarterback ready. I
wouldn't say they're going to be top 20. I could see maybe. I could see him missing the playoffs, but like I don't know, maybe not. It's hard to bet against them. Like I wouldn't put money on it. I could see it. I think anything could happen, but like.
So it's the same. It's the same thing with the Rams pick at 13 this year, right? So the Rams made a heck of a trade with Atlanta. This is going to be the Rams' best draft pick, probably for the next 6 years. They have to make it count because they don't usually get to pick that high. Think of Philadelphia when they drafted Jalen Carter, right? Philadelphia made the playoffs, and then they got to draft Jalen Carter, right? Like, when you have a pick that is that high, you want to make it count.
Yeah, especially on those teams, like you said, that are playoff teams, perennial playoff teams that made a good deal and got an early pick. Like, that's your chance to make it, especially if it's an extra pick. You know, like that's why I said the Rams again this year. Like with that 13, like if Mackie Lemon or Jordan Tyson, like I mean, I know they're loaded at receiver, but like why not add another piece like of a luxury pick? Or like you said, maybe they do sure up a offensive lineman or something to that extent, whoever falls in that spot that they like. But
Brandon, I would argue that I don't know that Kansas City tank was on purpose. I just think of the same thing happened to the Indianapolis Colts when Peyton Manning got hurt. Right? They literally went from perennial playoff team to being able to draft Andrew Luck first overall.
Yeah, I think that too many people don't realize that, they realize, but without Patrick Mahomes, it's the same thing with the Bills. Like, the Bills lost Josh Allen, the Bills would be picking top 5. No doubt in my mind, if not maybe one. There's a lot riding on a lot of those guys. And the Chiefs, it wasn't the Chiefs year. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Love. I don't think that's too far-fetched for me. I can see it. I think Brandon makes some valid points. You could make that connection between what the Lions were when they took Gibbs and what the Chiefs are right now. So I could see it. I think it really comes down to who they have on their board. If they have a nice defensive player or a linebacker or like you said, a safety, maybe offensive line. If somebody that they really, really loves there, they probably take it. Obviously, they're not going to have too many people taking before them. But it's also, I guess, one of those options, though, where the free agent class is really good at running back as well. So they may address it there if they really feel like they have an issue at running back. You got Breece Hall, Ken Walker, Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins. You've got Travis Etienne. You've got Kenneth Gainwell. There's a ton of names available. Not world beaters by any means. Breece Hall's probably the closest to the world beater category, I guess, but names that could easily be successful in the Chiefs offense. So I think the free agency will tell you a lot of what they're thinking at 9, personally. If they go after one of the running backs, it Love's out. They're not taking him. They're going to go elsewhere. If they don't address running back, he might be on the table.
Well, Jeremy, do you want to take a moment and let everybody know about all the fantasy football content and the other content that you make?
Yeah, for sure. So new Twitter. It's at Popes_FF. Like I said, when we let off on the show, got hacked. I've been trying to get it back, but Twitter keeps telling me it's not me. So that's a different discussion. Blue Sky as well is at PopesFFH. And then FTN Fantasy, that's kind of where most of the stuff is. I do have a Substack called Beyond the Chalk. You can head on over there. Most of that stuff is free. It's kind of not a ton of content. It kind of moving it back and forth, kind of getting into it. But I'm working on scouting reports for FTN right now. So we'll have a ton of fantasy scouting reports coming out. For skill position players, I think I've got 40 or so of them done. Just waiting for the Super Bowl. That stuff should be coming out over at FTN Fantasy. So exciting stuff there. But yeah, FTN Fantasy at PopesFFH, PopesFFH on Blue Sky, and then at Popes_FF. That's going to take a while to get used to. I'm used to getting used to screaming PopesFFH real quick, and now I'm going to have to get used to the new one. It's the first one with the new one. So we'll call it beginner's unlook there. So.
Well, and I appreciate, because we scheduled this podcast before your account got hacked.
Oh my God, I know. I was like, I have to make a new one before this, because I'm like, I don't have any other way to contact you, and I'm like, they're gonna think I'm just ghosting them.
Yeah, and we can solve that offline and stuff. But I appreciate that you reached out, because I didn't realize you got hacked until you told me. So and again, because we've had this scheduled for 2 or 3 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
and that's I'm like, I know it's coming up. I'm like, I think it's Monday. Crap.
So I want to let everybody watching know, first of all, Brandon, you're here nearly every podcast. It's awesome to see you. So thank you for stopping by. JT, thank you for stopping by. John, thank you for stopping by. So, and Mariana, thank you for stopping by. And I always she always makes sure that the Eagles are taking the right players in a mock. So I appreciate the feedback. I also want to let everybody know that we do 32-person mock drafts every Friday. So every Friday we do 3 rounds, 32 people picking for 32 teams. It's a live mock draft, starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you would like to draft for your team, go to the Draft Professor Twitter page and sign up on the pinned post. So if you drop your name in the pinned post, I will follow up to make sure I know what team you want to draft for if you didn't already put that in your reply. In addition to that, I also want to announce that we are doing Epic Mock 26, April 9th, 10th, and 11th. That is a 7-round, 32-person mock draft. There will be 33 podcasts for that mock. So every team is going to have their own podcast, and then Draft Professor will also have the main feed. And you can go check out everybody's war room, find out, what Pittsburgh's talking about, what Buffalo's talking about. You'll be able to go all across the internet, follow the hashtag, and you're going to be able to find a lot of podcasts discussing the draft their own way. So we did it last year. It was a lot of fun. It was one of the best podcasts we ever had as far as viewer analytics and stuff like that went. So we're looking forward to doing that again. So again, Epic Mock 26, April 9th, 10th, and 11th. If you want to sign up for that one, you need to know me. It's really right. Like that one, you just can't slide in my DMs and say, okay, I'm drafting for this team. Well, if you're Brandon or if you're a JT and you're showing up into the chat, of course JT is going to be picking for the Bucks. He's showing up to the chat, right? John's showing up to the chat. If he wants to draft for the Lions, he'll be able to draft for the Lions. But it's not just anybody. It's the people that follow Draft Professor, support our content. It is our celebration of being draft people. So Epic Mock 26, I've made the announcement, said it a couple times. For Jeremy, for myself, for the 110 people at the Draft Professor, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your Monday night. We will see you on a podcast again in about 45 minutes. Thanks, everybody.